Hey family, you all welcome to the Gospel Desk right here with your brother Minister CAG. I'm so excited. We've been, waiting for this particular time to come through, and finally it's here. All right, and so today, as you all may be aware, we are beginning to, just do a test for the gospel. I know a lot of us, we take the gospel for granted. We think we know what the gospel is. It's a huge subject on its own. And so basically today we begin to, test for the gospel from a song. And we were talking in the background that we need to begin to react to videos as well, but today we're giving you the audio. And this particular song is basically coming to one of the biggest gospel bands or groups here in Zambia. What I love about this group is that it's a family. There are very few families that can stand in ministry together like for so many years. They've blessed this nation, the Christian community, for a long time, and these are no other than the peace preachers. They're known for danceable songs, of course, praise songs, and I'm bringing to you today a song entitled Ukusumina muli Yesu. What that means, our international viewers, is basically that believing in Jesus Christ, but going forward it means is the end of troubles, issues, and things like that. And so here's the song. I want you to listen to the song, then we'll begin to test it for the gospel as usual. All right, and here's the song. Okay, now here's the thing. The person on this particular line is Sister Martha. I think she's the eldest of the family. All right, I think she should be the second or third. I remember the last time that I was interviewing them, I think they told me she should be the third one. Now here's the thing. Already she's talking about believing in Jesus Christ is basically the end of all troubles. Now I find that to be too general. Now when you speak of troubles, what are you talking about? Is it really true? All right, we begin to test the waters. Is it really true that once you become a Christian, then no more issues, no more troubles? All right, okay, let's continue. Let's continue listening. No more crying? No sufferings? So as usual, this is, I think, the chorus. And so the chorus, what we're saying is that when Jesus came, he did not promise us a safe journey. That's Christianity. Take it from me. He didn't promise us a safe journey. He said, when the world hates you, don't despair. Because even your forefathers that came, before you, that preached the gospel, they were hated. So being a Christian, it simply means you're actually provoking the devil. All right, becoming a Christian is a direct provocative to the kingdom of the devil, and the devil is after you. I remember last time I was teaching in church and I was saying, if you're a Christian, then all the people that are close to you are a target, are a victim of the devil. So when you are a pastor or when you're a Christian, remember that the devil will begin to fight your finances. He will begin to fight your marriage. He will begin to fight all of these other things. So there is no assurance that becoming a Christian, it's having a free, a problem-free kind of life. Now let's listen to the first verse. Okay, so this line was done by Moses. Actually, Moses is the guy that does much of the writing of the composition of songs. He's the director of the team. And he's a twin, of course, a twin with a sister called Sarai rather. And now what he's telling us is that be on your knees. Once you call on Jesus Christ, he will come through. That is very true. When you call on Jesus, he comes. Now listen, as a Christian, you don't call on Jesus for him to come through. Hey, you heard me right. As a Christian, Christ lives inside you. You live in him while he still lives in you. You are intertwined. You are merged. It's an amalgamation, all right? You have become inseparable sweethearts. So as a Christian, stop the idea of calling Jesus to come. I know there's this tendency in churches where people would go, okay, let's now call on the presence of Jesus Christ. We are now in the presence of God. Where are you from? A Christian is always in the presence of God. A Christian is always with Christ. He said, I will never leave nor forsake you. You can't call somebody that is always with you. He's always with you. So just tell him what your issues are. All right. And so this is what I had to say about Moses' line. I love the rhythm, the tempo, and everything. But remember, we're here to test for the content, the gospel. All right, now this reminds me, do you know why a lot of churches don't grow, or the Christian community in large? Why don't we see it like growing? The reason is simple. A lot of men of God are labeled as liars by members of the church. Why and how? When you go to preach, to evangelize, you're preaching the gospel. Don't tell people that when you come to Christ, you'll never be sick. When you come to Christ, you never run broke. When you come to Christ, you never have all of these issues. Don't do that. What happens is that the moment you go with that kind of the message as the gospel, and then the obvious or the opposite is what happens in the lives of the people that you evangelize to, they will question your integrity. You will be lacking integrity. And they'll say the man of God is a liar. This is exactly what happens even when people give. They'll say, give, give, and then you shall have double or tripled and things like that. What happens is that when these people give and they are not seeing in return what you professed as a man of God, they will question your integrity. And they will eventually and ultimately question, rather doubt as to whether God is a genuine God. So don't preach the message of, enticing people. Tell them the gospel as it is, as radical as it is. You tell them, Jesus did not come to save you from poverty. He came to save you from your sins. I just hit the nail on its head. Let's go on. But me as the blind man. That was Rabbi. I don't have much to say about his line because it's just basically, quoting, reciting the story from the Bible, the story about Bartimaeus and things like that. Okay? So that is Sarai, now the twin sister to Moses. I love that, I love that, I love that. So here's the thing. If you check the history of the Bible, you realize that a lot of men of God from the Bible, recorded in the Bible, none of them were like so affluent in terms of being wealth. All right? None of them like were so affluent. Now, here's the thing. Listen to me. I'm not saying you cannot be wealthy as a child of God. You actually stand an advantage as a child of God to be affluent. All right, to have a lot of money. Why? Because you have Jesus, the God himself, the owner of silver and gold. But here's the thing. Being wealthy has nothing to do with you being a Christian. I love that. Being wealthy has nothing. You know, a lot of people, even in our societies today, a lot of people that seem languishing in poverty are Christians. Being a Christian does not guarantee 100% a problem-free kind of life. Okay, and so perfect. So in essence, the song is coming to an end. I think there's no verse remaining. We're done with it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we'll be doing every time that we come here. And so, and let me just close it down, then give you my closing remarks. All right? And so, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the gospel desk right here with your brother Minister CAG, where we just give you the first shot in terms of testing for the gospel, and we were looking at a song done by the Peace Preachers entitled Ukusumina muli Yesu. And so I'm encouraging you to continue following, and in our comment section, drop your comment there. Tell us the song that you'd want us to react on next, either video or audio, maybe a short message also, maybe for 10 minutes or so. We're good to discuss it as well. As long as it has content, then we can test it for the gospel. And so this has been, Shab's production. Make sure you follow us right on all our social, handles. That's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and everything. It's a Shab's production, and we're good to go. We'll see you next time. Shalom, shalom.